Welcome to Deep Dive. Today we're taking a deep dive into a concept that I know has been on your mind, based on the materials you shared with us: discipline. It's often seen as this rigid, maybe even, restrictive idea, something we force ourselves to do. But what if it's actually the complete opposite? The pathway to true freedom, extraordinary achievements, and genuinely living a better life.
That's exactly right. And deep down, I think we all sort of sense that our level of discipline is the hinge point. It's the difference between drifting into old habits and staying exactly where we are, or consistently building the new practices that move us towards where we truly want to be. We've pulled together some fascinating insights here. We're looking at ancient philosophers, modern psychology, and the daily routines of highly successful individuals from your sources. Our mission today is really to unpack what discipline truly means, why it's so crucial, and maybe most importantly, how you can cultivate it in your own life to achieve your biggest goals.
Okay, let's unpack this then. When we talk about discipline, what exactly are we defining? Is it just about forcing yourself through things you don't enjoy, like a kind of mental brute force?
Well, not entirely, and that's a really crucial distinction. The very word discipline, it comes from the Latin disciplina, which means to teach or to instruct.
Ah, okay. So teaching, not punishment.
Exactly. It's fundamentally different from punishment. So discipline is really about training self-control. It's your ability to consciously direct your own behavior, your actions, to achieve a specific goal or maintain a certain standard. This includes setting clear objectives, staying focused, and yes, making sacrifices for those long-term visions. It's truly about your willingness to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you might feel in the moment.
So it's like learning to steer your own ship, but with a specific destination in mind, purposefully. That reminds me of Jim Rohn's powerful insight. He said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That paints such a vivid picture, doesn't it? It's the essential connection, the missing link for so many of us.
Precisely. It's that ability to give up immediate pleasures for greater long-term goals, what we often call deferred gratification. It's about taking those small, consistent steps, those daily actions to build strong habits that actually fulfill your objectives. And it also demands perseverance, right? That grit that helps you overcome obstacles and keeps you going even when things get uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's correct.
But this raises an important question, doesn't it? If the path is so clear, why does discipline remain such a universal struggle for so many people?
That really is the heart of it, isn't it? We acknowledge its importance, we know it matters, but actually doing it, that's where the friction lies. So if discipline is truly this powerful, what are the real life, maybe even surprising benefits of cultivating it? Beyond just, getting things done or hitting a few targets, What does it truly unlock?
Well, beyond just getting things done, discipline, it profoundly rewires your future. Think about this for a second. Research from one of your articles, it indicates that children with higher self-control don't just get better grades. They actually experience better physical health as adults. They're less likely to struggle with addiction. And they even achieve higher career success later on.
Wow.
So the real insight isn't just that discipline helps you reach specific goals, although it does. It's that it fundamentally shapes the trajectory of your entire life, making every subsequent decision, easier and more impactful.
That's a huge ripple effect.
Yeah.
So it's not just about professional achievements or ticking boxes. It's about building a better quality of life in every dimension. It sounds almost foundational.
Absolutely. Foundational is a great word for it. Discipline leads to improved productivity, sure, but also clearer decision-making. And a deep increase in self-esteem, fostering a much more positive self-image. It helps you manage emotions effectively, too.
Oh.
Well, by preventing rash choices, right? It promotes genuine emotional stability. Plus, a disciplined approach significantly reduces stress simply by bringing order and control to your daily life. It allows for far better time and task management. It truly acts as the bedrock upon which genuine success is built. It provides clarity, direction, steering you away from trivial stuff towards meaningful achievement.
Okay, it sounds like a superpower.
Yeah.
Honestly. But as we discussed, it's clearly not easy to master. So what are some of the common traps people fall into when they're trying to become more disciplined? Where do we usually go wrong?
Oh, there are several critical mistakes, and they can subtly ruin self-discipline, often without us even realizing it. First, and this is a big one, relying solely on willpower instead of planning for temptations.
Right, just white-knuckling it.
Exactly. Willpower is a finite resource. It's like a battery that drains through the day. So if you're trying to eat healthier, for instance, keeping unhealthy food right there in your cupboard, that's setting yourself up for failure. You're relying too much on sheer willpower. A more effective approach is to remove the temptation entirely. Think like the French writer Victor Hugo.
Oh, yeah. What did he do?
Legend has it, he locked away his good clothes, left himself only this gray shawl to force himself to work on an overdue novel. He literally had no choice but to stay at his desk, avoiding distractions. He engineered his environment.
That's commitment. Okay, so planning beats pure willpower. What else?
Second, there's the false hope syndrome. This is basically having unrealistic expectations about the speed or the amount or just the ease of change.
The I'm going to change everything overnight trap.
Precisely. Many people set these impossible goals, thinking they can go from 0 to hero instantly. And this just leads to repeated failure and discouragement. Discipline is about taking things step by step. You have to understand that great achievements come from small disciplines repeated consistently over time. You won't reach the moon right away.
Okay, manage expectations. Got it. Number 3.
Third, underestimating the impact of stress. Stress severely deteriorates self-control. One study you shared, focusing on Australian students, showed that those under exam stress, they often neglected healthy habits like proper diet, sleep, exercise.
Yeah, that makes sense. Stress makes you crave comfort, easy choices.
It does. So it's essential to actively introduce stress-reducing habits into your daily life. Things like short walks, maybe listening to music or meditating, just to maintain your self-discipline buffer.
Protect your capacity for discipline. Okay. And
Fourth, neglecting the sustainability of changes. You might be tempted to introduce several extreme changes all at once.
the New Year's resolution effect.
Exactly, but even the most self-disciplined people need regular breaks and, some leeway. Without planning for sustainability, you won't develop long-term discipline. This means actually scheduling cheat meals or rest days. It prevents burnout and maintains psychological balance, allowing you to recharge. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right. Build and recovery. Makes sense. And the last one.
And finally, waiting for perfect conditions. This is the classic, I'll start next week, next month, next year trap.
Guilty.
We all are sometimes. But no amount of knowledge will help if you don't get proactive. You'll never feel 100% ready to start a new habit or learn a new skill or launch that project. Starting as soon as possible is crucial, even if conditions aren't ideal. Otherwise, you risk losing the momentum, the desire for your goals.
So it's really not just about trying harder, but trying smarter. Being strategic about it. Avoiding these common pitfalls sounds like an essential first step, really.
It absolutely is. It's about being proactive and designing your approach rather than just, hoping for the best.
That brings us to the next big question then. What does all this mean for us, practically? How do we actually build this discipline in our lives? We've got insights from centuries of thought and modern brain science here, and I'm keen to see how they connect.
Indeed. Let's start with some foundational principles. First, consider the power of the mind. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength."
Powerful.
And it resonates deeply with what modern neuroscientists are confirming now. Each time you choose discipline, you actively reinforce connections in your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of the brain responsible for curbing impulses and making deliberate choices. Horace also advised, rule your mind or it will rule you. It's about taking command of your internal landscape.
So it's like building a mental muscle.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is understanding dopamine. Our brains have this primitive instinct to seek dopamine. It creates sensations of pleasure and motivation. However, this substance can also be incredibly addictive. Researchers have shown animals will neglect everything, even essential needs like food, just to trigger dopamine release.
Wow.
And exposure to activities that give unnaturally high dopamine hits, scientists call these super stimuli, because they're far more stimulating than anything natural. Things like excessive social media scrolling, certain video games, processed foods, even gambling.
The easy hits.
The easy hits. They can actually reduce your dopamine receptors over time. This leads to lower motivation, diminished concentration, and reduced mental sharpness, making it incredibly harder to be disciplined in your everyday life. So the key is to lessen your reliance on these super stimuli that don't add real value, allowing your natural dopamine receptors to reset and appreciate simpler, healthier rewards.
So it's not just about avoiding bad things, but actually creating space for your brain to appreciate the natural, healthier rewards of consistent effort. That's a powerful idea.
Precisely. And this leads us to a really critical point. Willpower versus motivation. So many people mistakenly believe motivation is the primary driver for habit formation. But motivation is fleeting, right? It comes and goes like the tide.
Yeah, you can't rely on feeling motivated all the time.
You really can't. The more sustainable approach is to build habits based on willpower. But here's the key. You make your initial requirement so small that you can always do it, even on days with zero motivation. For instance, commit to just one push-up or reading just one paragraph.
Just one. That seems
Yeah.
too easy.
That's the point. You'll often find yourself doing more once you start, but that minimal requirement ensures consistency. It prevents failure. As Jim Rohn also wisely stated, we must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret and disappointment. This makes the pain of discipline tiny, manageable.
So it's about making it almost impossible to fail your daily commitment, rather than aiming for those heroic efforts that just aren't sustainable in the long run.
Yeah.
That's a huge shift in mindset for many of us, I think. It takes the pressure off.
Absolutely. And this approach leads us directly into specific strategies we can see in highly disciplined individuals throughout history, many of which you highlighted in your materials. Consider Miyamoto Musashi's Way of the Warrior. The legendary samurai's philosophy, while not strictly stoic, offers powerful lessons that really resonate today.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, reject desire. Musashi intentionally avoided doing things simply because they generated immediate pleasure. He believed it would make him weak. The core insight here is training your brain to find satisfaction through effort and accomplishment, not just fleeting gratification.
Okay, earn your satisfaction.
Exactly. Second, focus on one thing at a time. He believed dominating a single art could open 1,000 paths. The human brain just isn't designed for effective multitasking. Concentrating all your attention on one task makes you profoundly more effective and maintains deep focus. It prevents your concentration from, dropping off.
Single tasking. Got it.
Third, never abandon your path. Musashi stressed patience and unwavering commitment. Doubt will inevitably arise, we all feel it, but a clear goal and sheer perseverance are key to staying on track. And finally, live with honor. This wasn't just about external respect, but internal integrity.
What does that mean in practice?
It means respecting yourself, not taking shortcuts, not always choosing the easy way. Acting with honor involves honesty, integrity, courage, aligning your daily actions with the person you truly aspire to be.
Wow. That's deep. How does this connect to, say, modern achievers?
Well, if we connect this to the modern world, many successful people integrate these principles, maybe without even calling it that. Look at Richard Branson's notebook, a detail from your notes. The billionaire carries a simple notebook everywhere, right? To record ideas and decisions.
I remember reading that.
The core insight here isn't just about remembering ideas. It's that this simple habit frees his mind from the anxiety of forgetting. It converts vague thoughts into visible commitments, and it fosters the habit of action without relying on moment-to-moment motivation. He delegates that non-essential memory task to paper.
Offloading the mental clutter.
Precisely. Preserving his mental energy for true innovation. Then there's Marie Curie's focused blocks. She segmented her day into two distinct halves: high-energy lab work in the morning, administrative analysis in the afternoon. And she had a clear transition between them, like a short walk.
So matching energy to task.
Exactly. The insight is that this approach optimized her mental state for different kinds of tasks and prevented the trap of multitasking. It ensured her brain transitioned effectively from one mode to another.
Smart. What about environment?
Great point. Nikola Tesla's Minimalist Lab provides a fantastic example also from your shared resources. Tesla believed that clutter was mental noise, that it actively drained creativity. His lab environment was austere, prioritizing simplicity and concentration. And modern neuroscience supports this, linking disorder to attention overload. The core insight is that a clean, visually isolated workspace promotes better focus by reducing those unnecessary mental tabs open in your mind.
Declutter your space, declutter your mind. Makes sense.
Then there's Richard Feynman's X habit. The Nobel-winning physicist had this remarkably simple system. He marked an X on a calendar each day he solved a problem or reviewed notes.
Just an X.
Just an X. The insight is that this daily record reinforced his identity as someone who practiced consistently. And that growing chain of X's, it made it psychologically harder to break the streak. He also applied a minimum streak rule. If he couldn't do the full planned activity, say the full hour of exercise, he'd do a reduced version, maybe 15 minutes, just to keep the chain unbroken. Don't break the chain.
Don't break the chain. I like that. It lowers the bar for consistency.
It does. And finally, consider Thomas Edison's failure notebook. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work."
Right. The ultimate growth mindset.
Exactly. He meticulously documented his failed prototypes. He viewed them not as errors, but as maps of exclusions, data points. The profound insight here is this mindset seeing failures as valuable data for learning and quick correction. He also recognized the importance of recovery. The 2-day rule, never miss 2 days in a row, is vital for quickly getting back on track after any slip-up.
Never miss twice.
Okay.
These insights are fantastic. They show us that discipline isn't about being perfect or never making mistakes, is it? It's more about having resilient systems and a mindset that keeps you moving forward even when you stumble. It's about designing your life to support your goals.
Precisely. It's about making the disciplined choice the easiest, most natural choice in your environment and routine. So how do we take all this incredible wisdom from ancient philosophy, modern science, the habits of these remarkable individuals, and apply it? How do we apply it to the everyday challenges like eating well, exercising, staying organized, or just being productive at work? How do we translate these big ideas into practical, actionable steps for our lives?
Okay, this is where it gets really practical. It's all about building good habits that automate healthy behaviors and streamline decision-making. Think about it. Studies show that about 40% of a person's daily actions are driven by programmed habits. So cultivating new, positive ones frees up your willpower for more important choices.
Automate the good stuff.
Exactly. So for eating well, start remarkably small. Instead of some drastic diet overhaul, try adding just one fruit or vegetable to each meal. Or stop buying unhealthy snacks before you're tempted at home. Or choose 100% whole grains for just one meal a day. These tiny incremental changes, when applied consistently, build lasting healthy eating habits without feeling overwhelming.
Small steps.
Yeah.
Okay, what about exercise? That's a big one for many people. It is. For exercise, remember the human body was designed to move. Find an activity you genuinely enjoy that's key. Maybe exercise with a friend for added motivation and accountability. Or sign up for a charity walk or a 5K race to give yourself a clear, tangible goal. Even a 10-15-minute walk daily, gradually increased over time, can build a strong, unbreakable foundation. Start where you are.
Find something you like. Make it social. Start small. Good advice.
Yep.
What about getting organized? The clutter monster.
Yes, the clutter monster. When getting organized, the idea of cleaning up an entire mess can often feel worse than the reality. So focus your discipline on simply getting started. Make it a habit to do the dishes before bed, maybe, or set a timer for just 10 minutes each day for a quick tidy up. And crucially, create dedicated spaces for frequently used items like your keys, your wallet. It reduces that morning stress and decision fatigue significantly.
The everything has a place idea.
Exactly. For improving focus at work, you first need to identify your top time wasters. Be honest with yourself. Then, implement strategies like blocking distracting websites during focused work periods. Put your phone away, like actually out of sight, or use time blocking techniques like the Pomodoro method work for 25 minutes, short break, repeat. By systematically eliminating those minor distractions, you conserve precious mental energy for the significant tasks and dramatically boost your efficiency.
Be intentional about removing distractions.
Okay.
And routines. You mentioned those earlier.
Yes, establishing routines is absolutely crucial. Highly disciplined people often have very consistent morning and evening rituals. A morning routine might include waking up a bit earlier, hydrating right away, maybe some light exercise, practicing mindfulness for a few minutes, and clearly planning the day ahead. Evening routines often involve things like a digital detox, putting screens away an hour before bed reflection, maybe some gratitude journaling, and preparing things for the next day. All of these enhance sleep quality and reduce decision fatigue, setting you up for success the very next morning.
It really seems like the common thread here is breaking down big goals into tiny, repeatable actions. And crucially, designing your environment and your routines to support those actions, rather than constantly fighting against them with sheer willpower. It's about stacking the deck in your favor.
Precisely. It's about making the disciplined choice not just possible, but ideally, the path of least resistance.
So in this deep dive, we've explored discipline from, well, ancient philosophy all the way to modern neuroscience. We've seen how it empowers us and learned concrete strategies from the lives of incredible achievers, all drawn from the insights you shared with us. It's become really clear that discipline isn't some rare inborn quality you either have or you don't. It's truly a skill.
Yes, exactly. It's a muscle you can train, a pathway you can actively build in your brain through practice. It transforms those vague aspirations into concrete achievements. It cultivates deep resilience when you face setbacks. And ultimately, it leads to a more fulfilled and successful life. It's not about rigidity, really. It's about creating a structure that nurtures your goals and allows you to flourish.
And the beauty is, as you pointed out, you already have the material to start. A notebook, a clean desk, a calendar, the simple intention to start small. The consistency and those small, often overlooked efforts, they accumulate over time. They change not just what you do, but fundamentally who you are. As Aristotle so profoundly put it, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit.
So the question for you is, what will be your first small, consistent step to cultivate discipline today? How will you shift from wishing to doing and start building the life you truly desire? And perhaps as you embark on that journey, consider this. If discipline truly is the path to freedom, what deeper, more profound kind of freedom might you discover when you consistently choose the path of intentional action?
Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to our next episode.